Welcome back to the Mile High Living channel. I'm your host, Mitch Mahaffey, and I am super excited to show you guys today's community. We are on the ground in Farmlore, a new development to Brighton, Colorado that, as you guessed by the title of the video, has no HOA fee. Now, this community is on the west side of Brighton, which means you are super close to all of the amenities that Brighton is starting to develop. We're right off of Highway 76, and we are just a few streets away from the Prairie Center Shopping Center, which we've covered in a lot of other videos. That's where all your grocery, your restaurants, some of your shopping, and kind of like a strip mall area is. Now, this particular neighborhood has prices starting in the low to high fours, depending on the builder and the home that you do go with. We're gonna start over here with KB Homes. We're gonna walk through their two models, which are priced in the low to mid fives as a base. Of course, with KB having the design center, you can take those to wherever you want. If you wanted to spend $750,000, you probably could. Let's go take a look and see what KB has to offer. All right, now this is the first of two models that KB Home has here in the Farmlore community, built in their single family collection. Now, the secret with KB Homes that we've mentioned in other community walkthroughs, the name of the floor plan is the size of the home. So this is a ranch model 1818. So that means there's 1,818 square feet with this floor plan. This one's laid out as a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, but there is, of course, a ton of extras to showcase the things that you can do at the design center and some of the other ways you can upgrade the home from the base home that KB does build. Now, walking through the front of the house here in the front wing, and I'm kind of a fan of this myself, you have your secondary bedrooms up front here. Now, there's pros and cons to this layout. I'm a fan of the way it makes the home flow and the floor plan flow. And as far as secondary bedrooms go, they are decent size. Obviously, you're not gonna put a king bed in a secondary bedroom in most new constructions around this $500,000 price point and have much room left, but they've done a really good job laying out and providing decent space. Bathroom 1 right up front in the home here. If you check it out, and I've complained about this in the past, and I realize now that there's a reason builders do it. You've heard me talk about how I'm not crazy when builders put different types of countertops throughout the home, but there is a reason. It does show you some of the different options for you. So in here, we just kind of have this vinyl press board, whatever you want to call it, laminate countertop, which I'm not crazy about whatsoever, but in some of the other rooms and bathrooms in the home, they do showcase some of the quartz and stuff. Now, what I like about this floor plan, one, the openness of the entryway, and of course, being a model, it's gonna be spec'd to the gills with everything that you can do, including a full finished basement, but we'll get to that here in a second. Now, you do have a den or flex space that is beautifully set up as a home office. So for those of you that work from home or just want a space you can shove stuff. This could be a kid's playroom, it could be an office, it could be a media room. You can do just about whatever. There is no shortage of closets in the home so far. We've got a coat closet in here. There was a linen closet next to that first bathroom, if you guys caught that. Now, walking back into the home, as tours go, I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I don't like, and what I like about this is that it's not a rectangle. Open floor plans are great, but it gives you long rectangles in houses. So with this particular kitchen layout, you have an L-shaped kitchen, which makes the kitchen feel a lot bigger than if it were on one wall. And you have this really nice big island. So you can see in a lot of newer constructions, the island takes place of the dining space. Now, you don't have a separate formal dining room in this home, but you do still have room for a dining room table. This is a 6-8 person table that they have over here, and it flows pretty well. Now, you have a decent amount of space here in the family room area. I'm not feeling too cramped in this particular layout. Now, one of the things that I'm a big fan of myself personally when it comes to builders is some of these crazy designs that don't look like a copy paste build, if you will. This is a very neat tile backsplash, and I love the gas appliances. So a lot of builders, especially on the south side of town, kind of Aurora area are starting to get away from gas appliances. And if you've ever cooked on gas and then electric, you know how much better cooking on gas is. Now, coming back this way, we have our laundry room. Nice, pretty central location to where all of the bedrooms are. Decent space in there. And then coming back into the primary suite. I do like this layout. Obviously, this is where the people who pay the mortgage are gonna be sleeping and spending a lot of time in, so it's rightfully so the biggest bedroom in the house. Now, following that trend of crazy design options, check out this tile. This is something that I haven't seen in Brighton before. I've seen this in other communities closer to Denver. This is really cool. But now when you come in here, you have your closet off to the side here, plenty of room for her clothes, and then I guess use one of the other closets that the house has. And then again, the Colorado trend with water closets is what we call them here for some reason. Toilet is able to be separated by a door. Obviously for the layout and showings, they don't have a door on it. Makes the house feel more open. I get it, but there will be a door there. Now this shows you some of the different countertops. This is a concrete quartz countertop, and there is no bathtub in here, which is interesting that a lot of builders are starting to get away from doing a bigger shower in lieu of a shower and a bathtub. Now, there is actually a decent amount of space in here. I'm pretty tall, I'm 6 foot even, not in shoes. So there's no shortage of space in the shower in this one. Now, this is the sales office split when this house is built and closed for the new homeowner. This is how you're gonna come in from the garage. And of course, since it's a model, they've got it decked out with everything that you can do. Let's go check out the finished basement. Now, I have to tell you, me personally, I'm a huge fan of ranch floor plans with the finished basement. Of course, this isn't included in the base price of the home. This is an example of what you could do. And there is a ton of space in it. We've effectively doubled the living space of the home by including the finished basement. Now, this is where bedroom 4, if you remember from upstairs, we had 3 bedrooms. Bedroom 4 is down here. And it's actually a really, really good size. You definitely could get a king size in this bedroom and have space. This is a full that they have it staged with. Not a bad size closet either as far as basement bedrooms go. And then of course, closet here, linen closet for your bedroom, bathroom down here, and then coat closet. If you don't use it for somebody that lives down here, of course you can store whatever you want. There's no such thing as a shortage of closets, I think, in houses. Now, this is that secondary basement bathroom, same tile. Again, super cool. Matches the countertop upstairs to show you what some of those options are. Doesn't give it the most premium feeling, but you know, if you want to save some dollars as you're building a new house, you have options, which is really cool. All right, so we're still in the pretty early stages of the development of Farmlore. We've got about 476 acres here that the neighborhood, I should say, is going to use to develop and build houses, build trails, build parks. They've even got what looks like a community rec center and pool coming. Of course, there's gonna be trails, walk the dog, go for a walk, ride your bike, and a few 3+ acre neighborhood parks. Now, the building behind me here, I'm just gonna read you right from the builder's literature because I think it's really, really cool. This is actually the original barn for the Davis farm that was once right here where the neighborhood is. Now, from the builder, from the developer, the 10,000 square foot barn, once where flower bulbs were stored, will become the beating heart of the community. Possibilities for the space could run the gamut from a restaurant, coffee shop, or brewery to an event space, community gathering place, or local farmers market. So you've got 10,000 square feet in an original barn that has been renovated. And funny enough, this barn probably done what, 4 or 5 years ago, that for the longest time, we had no idea what it was. You're just driving through kind of what was once the outskirts of Brighton, and there's this really, really nice barn here. Now, I know what it's for. All right, now this is the second model that KB has modeled in the community. They are building, I think I mentioned it before, 7 different floor plans here. This is model 2193. It's a proper 2-story. Now you walk into this one, you have a pretty nice separate entryway, powder bath right off the front, which is nice. It's away from all the living and social spaces. Closet there, understair storage. This particular model is built on a crawl space. Again, basements are optional in this community and most new neighborhoods in Colorado. Now, much more square footage and a bigger footprint of the main floor down here. Again, this is a bigger home. It's almost 2,200 square feet compared to 1,800. So again, with the L-shaped kitchen, and one thing I do love, now this is the construction office, so we don't want to go in there and interrupt them, but this is the garage. So when you're coming home from school, coming home from getting groceries, anything, coming right from the garage to the kitchen makes life a breeze. Now again, with the L-shape, big fan of stuff like this because you've got room for coffee bar, whatever you want to do in the kitchen. It doesn't feel as crowded. This kitchen does feel a lot bigger than the kitchen we were just in. Now, you'll see KB in these models that we've walked do 9-foot floors. Downstairs, a lot of builders do that. When you do, this is just a little insider tip, when you do opt for 9-foot ceilings, don't skimp out on the cabinets. Get the 42-inch cabinets. It makes the room look so much better. Speaking from experience, having walked through and sold houses that had the big ceilings, didn't have the big cabinets. Now again, open floor plans are it these days. That's what everybody's building. So we go right over here into the family room. I mean, this is huge. It's hard to tell on video, but I'll take a seat on their staged furniture. There is a lot of space in this family room, and you can kind of see, we'll pan back out through the rest of the room to show you what you're working with. This size of home in this particular house is perfect for those of you that are buying your first home. Maybe it's just the 2 of you and a dog. Maybe it's the 2 of you, small child. Maybe you're retiring and don't want as much space. That's where floor plans of this size typically tend to shine. Now, coming back to the kitchen, because I realized I missed it, and this is a big deal. Pantry's pretty big. Ask me how I know. There's nothing worse than having a good-sized kitchen and a tiny pantry. As I've promised you guys, I'm not afraid to point out things in the house that I don't personally like. I don't like a lot of dead space. Like, I get we gotta put the stairs somewhere, but it's kind of weird. But let's go upstairs, because upstairs we have an extension of the living space. Now, I love staircases that do this, and it does create some of that dead space. So 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, I guess. Come up here, this particular one is modeled with a loft. Now, of course, the loft isn't gonna be as big as the family room downstairs, but it's gonna add an additional spot where you can hang out, and maybe this is where the big TV, the sound system goes, and you keep downstairs nice and clean, you know? And then coming over here, we have the rest of the bedrooms in the home. Now, coming back here to the secondary bedrooms, we've got bedroom 1 and 2, both decently sized rooms. This is gonna be modeled as a nursery, so not gonna be as small feeling with the furniture in here, because much smaller furniture. Back here, you can see what it looks like with a full-size bed in here. Love the window seat. Love the window seat. That's a really nice touch. Closets, of course, in secondary bedrooms in Colorado, they're there, right? One thing I've talked about a lot in the past, laundry room being where the bedrooms are. Love this. Love that KB has optioned to show this with a real tile floor. You guys know I'm not a fan of vinyl flooring. where water goes. Tile is the only actual waterproof flooring, so I'd love to see that. They did carry it into the secondary bathroom upstairs as well. And coming into the primary suite, this one, and normally I show you guys for the first time. I did have some clients that I showed this house this past weekend, so I'm kind of familiar with the layout of this one. This one has his and hers closets, which I think is a really nice touch. Over here, we have closet 1, separated by a very, very big bed frame. We've got a full king size bed over here to kind of show you how much space we have. Now, we don't have the 9-foot ceilings up here, but that's okay. Now, the other closet, I told you his and hers closet, is right over here on the way to the bathroom. So you've got decent sized closet. If this were the only closet, it would be a problem. It would be way too small. But since they're split up into 2 different closets, not a bad size. Now, coming into the bathroom, again, in true Colorado fashion, we have our water closet. I think that's such a goofy name. I can't get over that. And then again, optioned with the tile floor and a different color quartz concrete countertop with the dual vanity. This is what the bathroom would look like if you opted for the shower and the soaking tub. Let's do the tub test. That is actually, that's a pretty good sized tub. I'm quite impressed with that. All right, now KB's models are all built with a little extra on the landscaping, and I think this does a really good job at showcasing the space that you do have out here. A lot of the lots for their single family homes in the neighborhood are between like 5,000 and 6,000 square feet, so decent sized yard. Now, I do want to point out, for those of you, like 3 out of every 4 family in Colorado has a dog, you don't really need to worry about climbing out, fitting through, squeaking through a split rail. This is a 6-foot privacy fence. A lot of builders are getting away from 6-foot fences, so it's really nice to see that still. Of course, fences are dictated by the HOA, which, as we mentioned before, although there is one because it is a new community, doesn't cost you anything. There's no additional monthly HOA or quarterly HOA fee. So it's there, you're not directly paying for it. So that's a pretty nice compromise. Now, like I've said in the past, I'm not afraid of pointing out areas where builders are cutting corners, especially in Colorado, where home prices have gone up a ton and have stayed elevated despite higher interest rates. So something like this is technically a builder cutting a corner. Now, this is the different model. It's kind of hard to see because it's a dark alleyway between the houses, but it doesn't actually bother me as much as other things do, because the ground moves so much in Colorado that after 5, 7, maybe 10 years, that concrete pad or that pad that they have excavated and leveled out for your AC condenser will shift. And once your AC condenser gets crooked, it wears out a lot faster. It doesn't last as long. So although it saves money to elevate it and just put it on a bracket instead of laying a concrete pad for it, it actually helps keep your AC working for a lot longer. So stuff like that doesn't bother me whatsoever. Now, when it does come time to buy a home here in the Denver metro area or anywhere in northern Colorado, you guys already know I would love nothing more than the opportunity to help. I've already had a blast helping quite a few of you that watch these videos. Give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever's easiest for you. Phone number's on the screen. And make sure you smack that subscribe button, because we've got brand new videos coming at you guys every single week. This is the Mile High Living channel. I'm your host, Mitch Mahaffey, and I will see you guys in the next one.